It's a gain of 6 on the play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. 10th carry now for Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down.
Here we go. What?
3rd and long for Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
4th down, Prescott. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On 3rd down, Cousins out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now on 4th down, the 2014 NFL leader is a rookie in yards per punt. Tress Way on to kick it. Lucky Whitehead back deep for Dallas. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach. because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And here come the Redskins now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. Starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. Burrow Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Play fake. Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come out here in the eye. Again, this is Kelly. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Third and short yardage. Cousins. Jordan Reed has it. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's Cousins. Out to the left here to Reed.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Surveying the field. Got a man, it's Jackson. Redskins touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Oh, well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck. One of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Final play of the half. Cousins over the middle to Garcon. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our eat. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. Here's Thompson to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I could just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes. First series of the second half. Offense or defense, you've got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Looking to throw. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
4th, they do snap it to Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Anthony Hitchens in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, the offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Cowboys are going to get a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, but all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Going right side, he has Witten. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
There's a good bridge to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And Beasley with it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be a Dallas 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, 29 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll back now in Arlington, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Bailey now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one who goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, try to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. They come up in an offset eye. They'll hand it off to Kelly, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and it's third down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. On third down, it's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
To throw is Prescott. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's third down.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to his running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
He completes it to Bryant. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game, they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the rookie Ezekiel Elliott able to finish it off with a touchdown run. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Throwing here, Cousins backing up. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They come up in an offset eye. Now Thompson. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And tough starting field position here. first and 10. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Come on, let's go.
On second down, Prescott again. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Watch left. Stop right there. Here we go. We got 3. 190. Flex round.
Here's Prescott. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.